What if I told you that the device you are using to watch this video right now is quietly recording the silence in your room without you even realizing it? Or worse, what if there is something standing in the shadow right behind you, just waiting for you to look away from your screen? On the night of November 14th, 1993, in a quiet, isolated town in rural America, exactly 142 people got out of their beds at the same time. They dressed quietly, locked their front doors, and walked directly into the dense forest surrounding their town. There were no screams, no signs of struggle, and no forced entries. When morning came, the town was entirely hollow. Fresh coffee was still warm on kitchen counters. Televisions flickered in empty living rooms. But those 142 souls had vanished off the face of the earth. They were never seen again. Police reports quickly ruled the incident as mass hysteria and swept it under the rug. But they hid one crucial detail. At exactly 3:14 a.m. that night, a single voicemail was left on the answering machine of every single home in that town. It was a mechanical voice repeating just one word over and over again. Wake. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on one of the most chilling cover-ups in modern history. Lean back, turn off the lights, and pay close attention, because this mystery is much closer to home than you think. It all began 3 days before the disappearance, noticed only by a young late-night technician named Thomas at the local radio station. A strange, unauthorized signal began bleeding into their broadcasting frequency. It was a frequency so low, the human ear could barely register it as sound, more like a vibration felt in the chest. Thomas recorded the frequency and began analyzing it. In his personal journal, which was discovered years later in an abandoned attic, he wrote, "This isn't static. There is a rhythm to it. It feels as if someone is whispering commands to us while we sleep." As the days progressed, Thomas's handwriting in the journal grew increasingly erratic and disjointed. On the final entry, dated November 14th, he wrote only one line. "The frequency has stopped. We finally know what we have to do." What was this frequency? Was it a classified government psychological experiment gone wrong? Or was it something rising from deep beneath the earth? A force humanity was never meant to uncover. There was only one person left behind that night, 84-year-old Arthur Pendleton. Arthur was profoundly deaf and had taken off his hearing aids before falling into a deep sleep. When he woke up the next morning to complete silence, he walked out onto the street. The scene he described was surreal. The town was frozen in time. Cars stood idling in the middle of the roads with their doors wide open. Half-eaten breakfasts sat cold on dining tables. The silence was deafening. In 2002, Arthur gave a single anonymous television interview. His face was completely obscured in shadow, his voice heavily modulated. He recalled, "They weren't taken by force. They were summoned. I saw them from my window. They weren't afraid. They marched like a hypnotized army directly into the woods. But the most terrifying part? None of them were blinking." 3 decades have passed since that fateful night. The government quickly quarantined the entire sector, officially citing hazardous chemical leaks and soil toxicity. The town was wiped from public maps. But in 2024, an anonymous whistleblower leaked classified military radar files from that exact night. The data revealed that between 3:14 a.m. and 3:45 a.m., a massive, unidentifiable radar signature hovered directly over the town. It was completely invisible to the naked eye. This anomalous mass was completely stationary. The moment the townspeople reached the heart of the forest, the radar signature vanished instantly, and with it, all traces of the 142 people disappeared. No footprints, no torn clothing, no dropped belongings. It was as if they had been erased from reality itself. Even today, those who dare to travel near the borders of the quarantine zone claim that if you tune your car radio to the static between stations, you can hear a faint mechanical voice. It doesn't say, "Stay away." It says, "We are here." What do you think happened to the people of Oakhaven? Was it a government experiment or a force from beyond that we are not ready to understand? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you want to dive deeper into unsolved mysteries, hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, remember, sometimes the silence is the loudest scream.